Peace, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are making a self-love soap. So this is my first time recording one of these videos. I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm kind of experimenting with different editing techniques, so bear with me if it's not super fluid yet. Alright, so this is a self-love soap. I'm really working on self-love and doing a 40-day practice. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So right now what you're seeing is me making some colors that I'm gonna use. So I'm using a brambleberry, I think it's a bubblegum pink, and rose kaolin clay, and a pink flamingo from Rolio. So you'll see that come up in a second. Basically, I'm very intuitive and I don't really measure. Yeah, there's the Rolio flamingo pink. I'm struggling right now to open it, by the way. For some reason, it was really hard to open, and I get frustrated pretty easily. So in this moment, I was just learning to be calm and take it slow. So yeah, I'm using three different pink colors, and I don't really measure out the color amount that I'm gonna use. I just intuitively pick colors and add them in, and that frequency that it comes out is the frequency I need. So there's that flamingo pink. Oh my god, yeah, so beautiful and super vibrant and sparkly and just full of self-love energy. So I'm doing a self-love practice with Shirley Johnson at Solistic Wellness, and it's called 40-Day Self-Love Sadhana. I wasn't sure why I was called to the practice, but I am sure now after 5 days of doing it. I have had a lot of downloads about why I need to do this practice, so more about that later. Right now you're watching me incorporate the mica powder and dispersing it in some oil so that it comes out a really nice, smooth, consistent color throughout the soap batter. Yeah, so next I'm gonna use the titanium dioxide, and titanium dioxide is really good to make a nice bright white color, but I've never used it before, so we're gonna see how this turns out and just again do an intuitive guess here about how much to use. And I'm also mixing this in some oil. I've also seen people mix it in like distilled water or water, and I'm not really sure what the difference is or why, because again, I'm just intuitive and I chose to disperse it in oil because I felt more comfortable doing that. And yeah, so I'm mixing it quite vigorously right now. I know the video is on double time, but it was also vigorous while I was doing it in real life. And it was just really hard to mix, so I'm not sure if it's easier to mix into water. Maybe I'll try that next time, who knows. So it was just really hard to disperse into the oil, and I think because it's an oxide, I'm honestly not sure. If you know, put it in the comments. Yeah, I want to learn from you guys. So let me know if you are really super familiar with using that. Yay, I spilled. Then give me some tips. So now I'm going to go ahead and mix the oils in the water and the lye water. So I actually always separate out some some oil just to make sure I can like control the temperature of the oils and the temperature that I'm soaping at. So I'm just checking the temperature here and going to start adding the lye. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch this process, and I'll maybe put anything on the screen if needed while I'm kind of mixing the oils and the lye. So I try to make sure that there's no air bubbles. But side note, I really want to update my stick blender, so if you feel called to support me as an artist and as an entrepreneur, I will put my links to my Venmo and Cash App into the description. And if you could just donate some money, all the money is going towards upgrading a lot of my tools. Appreciate you. So enjoy this little clip of me mixing, and I'll be back soon. Okay, so here I'm just checking the trace on the mixture to make sure that it's fully emulsified together and it's at a good trace, and I'm just mixing it just without the actual blender part, just hand mixing it. Also, I know you guys can't really see what's happening in the pot. Another thing I'm trying to get is a better camera setup, so yeah, more to come. But just mixing here and ensuring that it's at a good trace. I also, because this ombre design I have not ever done before, I was really particular about how much I mixed it, because if I mixed it too much, it would start to go through the saponification process and thicken up to too heavy trace where I wouldn't get the right design. But I didn't want it to do that, so I was really working on making sure that it was at the right level, because I knew that I would be mixing it, and you'll see that as we go on to the video, it's going to be mixed a lot more, and that will accelerate. But I'm not using any fragrance oil. I'm using essential oils, so I don't have to worry too much about the fragrance accelerating it. So here I'm just separating the batter into the two colors that we're gonna do, or that I'm gonna use for the ombre. And really it's gonna be mostly pink, but the white is really to help lighten that pink, so we can get all the shades of pink for the self-love heart chakra. So here I'm going to add the titanium dioxide, and I was super excited about doing this. I thought it was just gonna come out like crystal white or like pure white, and didn't happen. Like, you'll see right now when I'm mixing it. I'm sorry about my hand being in the way, but I try my best to be able to show you guys what's going on. So I'm really gonna try to get all the white out of there too, just because I'm like, okay, I need more white. But at this point in time, I can't stop and make more white, because even though I haven't mixed it that much, soap making is very time sensitive, so you can't at a certain point like stop and go on a whole other thing, because the soap is already becoming soap as we're working with it. But because it's cold process, we have a lot more room to work with it. So I'm really trying to get the titanium dioxide, and it was a little bit disappointing to see the color as it came out. And if you can hear any pounding, my roommates are making jewelry. Woo! So okay, here we go. mixing it in, and it doesn't even really look that different. I was kind of like, cool, great, moving on. So now I'm doing the pink, and this one came out just exactly how I wanted it to, okay? I was like, this is the best pink ever, and I'm not even a pink person. I've actually never made a pink soap, like, intentionally before. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Yes, slow it down, looks just so, ooh, yeah. I was really feeling that, I'm still feeling it. Okay, moving on. So we're going to get into the fun part now and really start pouring the soap and everything. And I'm actually going to stick blend a little bit more just because I was kind of nervous that I hadn't blended it enough. And I was like, what if it doesn't become soap? What if it's not incorporated enough? What if the trace isn't thick enough? But honestly, I probably could have done without it because towards the end, I felt like the batter was getting too thick for me to keep a consistent design. So I probably could have done without this step, but I did it, and I did what I did, and I got what I got from that. So next time I know. So, okay. I think now it's going to start pouring it. Yeah, so I'm going to get set up with the setup. So for this, I also wanted it to have like a wavy kind of effect, or a curve to it, I guess. A curve would be probably the right word. So I have stacked up a few things. It's just like this board that I have that comes from one of my soap molds, and then like 2 cutting boards that I have in my house, and I'm propping the mold up on it so that it's at an angle and that the ombre kind of like swoops in. Yeah, so starting with the pour, and you just need to make sure you have like a thing that pours, like has a spout on it. And I'm starting with the pink, just not added any, just the pure pink. It's like a real strong magenta-ish pink. And then I'm adding a little bit of white, a teeny bit. Bump the camera. Oops, I'm still getting used to this. This is my first time doing this, guys. I think I already said that, but anyway. So I'm mixing in the white. I'm adding a little more white, and I'm just pouring it down the side of the mold. So when you watch this next pour, I'm really just line up the spout with like the corner edge of the mold. Sorry, I forgot the word. And then just drag it along side to side a couple times. So, and then I go in and I add more white. And so I'm just going to continue this pattern. So add more white, mix it in, and then pour it down the side of the mold. All right, so I'm going to let you guys watch for a little bit, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I just wanted to pause here and tell you that I started taking out the levels as soon as the edge started getting too close to the top. So then this starts to create the little wave that I was talking about. So as it gets closer to the top and closer to the top, I take out a level and take out a level until it's all the way flat. Alright, guys, so I want to tell you right now that I ended up dropping this soap on the way to put it on its place to rest. I know, after all that, I dropped the soap. So, yeah, so many thoughts, so many things to process regarding self-love, and it does show that you have to be flexible. You have to be able to roll with the punches and not let it affect you. And know where those areas are that you may need to put in a little bit more effort, a little bit more work. And that's what I'm taking from this, and that's what I learned from this. So I just wanted to tell y'all so that you weren't like shocked when I show what happens. And so I'm just finishing off the top of the soap here, and you'll see towards the end how it's fallen. But I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you for going through this video with me, for learning and experiencing with me. I wanted to be authentic and show you that I'm not perfect, right? We all make mistakes. And I think that there's so much to learn, and I'm constantly learning from soap. And that's why I love it. That's why I do it every day. It's never the same process. It's always changing. And so I gratefully, humbly take the lessons of the soap. If you want to see more videos like this, please like, comment, and share. Subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more.